Hello and welcome to this edition of Janet Brock's Bunny Talks. I'm Janet and today we'll talk very briefly about cruciferous vegetables. Cruciferous vegetables include kale, broccoli, mustard greens, Brussels sprouts, cabbages, and others. I don't want to go into the extensive science about cruciferous vegetables, but briefly, they are brassicas. Brassicas are a genus of plants belonging to the mustard family. For purposes of this discussion, I'll just refer to those vegetables as cruciferous. Now, you'll find several cruciferous vegetables on those approved food lists for feeding your pet rabbit. The problem is, even if your pet rabbit loves kale or cabbage, he shouldn't have them in large quantities. The limited studies that have been done on this subject show that there might be a substantial health risk to rabbits who are fed cruciferous vegetables on a regular basis. Many times you can find information on websites or social media pages from people who have had their rabbits for many years. They will tell you, or raise rabbits for many years. They'll probably tell you that they've been feeding their rabbits cruciferous vegetables for 20 years and they've never had any problem. However, if they're not a place that supports responsible pet ownership, be careful of the information you adopt. A lot of those rabbits don't live past a year or two, again, depending on what the rabbit is being used for or the purpose. So your rabbit is a pet rabbit. You want your furry friend to live a long, happy, healthy life. And so feeding them properly is very important. I would say I don't support anything other than responsible pet ownership. So I think feeding is always important and that we should stay away from the risky areas so that there's no chance of any rabbit developing long-term health problems. Sadly, we live in a world where rabbits are still used for all kinds of purposes. And until that changes, we just have to be careful where we get our information. So since you want your pet rabbit to live a long and healthy life, it is important to get your information from a source that is relevant to your situation, meaning sources that support responsible pet ownership. Now, if you go on social media, you might even see some pet rabbit owners saying that, oh, kale's fine, I feed it every day to my rabbit and I've not ever had a problem. Well, I studied this pretty in depth. I wanted to know what the big discussion about it was and why there's a debate about it in some circles. A professor at the UW Department of Horticulture did an excellent study on cruciferous vegetables. He explains that kale, broccoli, and other such vegetables should only be fed to rabbits very sparingly, if used at all. The study went on to document how these types of vegetables, over time, can allow bad bacteria and parasites into your rabbit's digestive system. They can also cause an overgrowth of yeast, which can be harmful. Of course harmful to your pet rabbit, but other health problems in rabbits are believed to be associated with cruciferous vegetables as well. Toxicity can also build up in your rabbit's system after eating these types of vegetables. Soon, your furry friends start suffering and you won't even know what the problem is. It can be difficult to identify the health issue related to cruciferous vegetables, and then of course, it can be difficult or impossible to correct. That doesn't mean you can't feed your rabbits kale or tiny pieces of broccoli or cabbage every once in a while on occasion. Just err on the side of caution and don't use cruciferous vegetables as a basic part of your rabbit's regular diet. Some rabbits don't tolerate broccoli, cabbage, kale, bok choy, or other cruciferous vegetables at all. Here, I don't feed any of the rescues or our pet rabbits cruciferous vegetables. There are plenty of other great options, such as dandelion greens. There are tree leaves, organic red lettuces. There's a world of grass just outside your front door, which should only be fed if it's not been chemically treated or treated unnaturally in any way. And of course, your pet rabbit should always have unlimited access to fresh water and long strand hay. I always think a really great rule of thumb when feeding your pet rabbit is to think about what he or she would eat if he were living in the wild. You can find credible researched information on many websites, such as our website, loveyourrabbit.com. But you can also get a lot of really bad information online. It is always best to get information from experts who understand how to do in-depth research and are also committed to responsible pet rabbit ownership. People who care for these animals 24 hours a day in a setting where the rabbits are pets, they're house rabbits, they're domesticated rabbits meant to be living with humans. Look into best care practices and stick with the basics of what we do know about these amazing animals and stay away from the risky areas. Do your best to just stay away from all If you come across a topic and it's debated and people are fighting about it, go to the source document or go to one of our websites. I'm a researcher. I publish on loveyourrabbit.com. I've written a book called Bunny Conversations, The Entertaining Dialogue of Pet Rabbits by Janet Brock. You can find that on Amazon. There's a lot of of really great experts who also understand how to research, and we pull the source documents and we get to the heart of an issue and in order to publish the truth about it. If you have not done so already, you can get a copy of my book, Bunny Conversations, The Entertaining Dialogue of Pet Rabbits by Janet Brock. The book is fun and entertaining, and it documents best care practices for pet rabbit ownership. It's well researched. And of course, I have a lot of experience with pet rabbit ownership. So it's just a really great book if you can get a copy off Amazon or another book outlet. It's published in many of them all around the world. Or visit loveyourrabbit.com. I'll leave the links for those two things below in the description. Please click subscribe to this YouTube channel. We're moving a lot of content over here right now. Hop on over to our Facebook page, give it a like, and follow us on Instagram. There's a lot of great information that you need to know about responsibly feeding your pet rabbit, but for space and time, we can't cover everything here today. Thank you for joining me on this important topic of cruciferous vegetables. As always, be kind to animals, and thank you for caring.